And I guess this is, I would love to hear your opinion, and I would love to hear if you have a story about this from your grandfather too. But how important it is for you how other people perceive your work in the way that you think about it?
Oh, you asked really, really good questions. You
Thank
really,
you.
really, I call it a breaking glass moment, like a shattered glass moment,
Yeah.
where when I create a piece, there's certain pieces that I make that I leave purposefully ambiguous on certain aspects because, okay, another stupid story. Bunch of years ago, I was doing a show in a place called Kalamazoo. I did that show in a place called Kalamazoo because there was a place called Kalamazoo and I liked it, so I went and I did the show. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was like this wonderful little funky town and everything, and beautiful gallery. I have all my pieces up and everything, and it's a reception, and everyone's coming in. I'm talking to everyone, and this young lady comes up to me and goes, "I really like this piece over here, but why did you paint the accusing eyes of my father in the window?" And I asked her, you should really ask yourself why you see the accusing eyes of your father in the window. But that gave me the thought and the idea that it's absolutely true that a lot of people will put a bit of themselves, and that's why I pick a base of Impressionism. Impressionism leaves X amount out of the painting that the viewer puts themselves into, And I have a certain sets of paintings that I do that, are reminiscence of places and things, but there's certain aspects within that painting, like say I paint this luscious garden and flowers all over. Some of the flowers are very ambiguous. They're the right color and shape and all that. And people will come up to me and says, "I can't believe you painted these, which were in my mother's yard." I'm like,
that's exactly what I was meaning to do. Yeah.
And in the broken glass, the shattered glass moment is when somebody says, "No, you have to tell me what this is." I don't want to, because if I tell you what I painted it as, that's how right now you see it, how you like, what's within your heart is in that painting. And I love being able to play with my creations that way. And in all honesty, I can't remember what the actual question was.
Yeah, I think you responded to it pretty nice, So I think it was a great answer either way. But to maybe give you the second part of the question that you didn't answer. I read that obviously your great grandfather experienced a lot of rejection towards his work during and I've always been very I've always admired him a lot that regardless, he just kept on doing what he felt is the right decision and what he felt it's coming from him, without, adjusting his style towards what others wanted him to do. So I think, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how difficult it is for you to stay true to yourself and stay true to your art, regardless of the, of the obstacles and regardless of the circumstances?
I remember now. Yes. When I was much younger, it was very, very difficult. And it was one of the reasons why, it took up until 22, 23 years ago for me to actually launch into this as a full-time career, is that I was very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And apprehensive. I mean, my great-grandfather was the freaking master. Like, he was one of the people who invented an entire genre of art that opened up everything for everything that followed after. Like, everything after is partly his fault.
Yeah, true.
was very intimidated by that. And I remember I was still doing some like speaking tours that I would go and I would talk. I remember this one time there was an older gentleman in one of the front rows who says, your work is very nice, but your great-grandfather was a master. And it dawned on me at that moment. He says, well, yes. And it took him 79 years in which to get there. Come talk to me in 79 years. And from that moment, I really decided that I am going to paint for me, what I love. And I'm going to stay true to my own vision, and not worry, because you know what? There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like a thing that you do. That's okay. That is okay. It's not going to kill you. Right? Like the fear of rejection is one of the most almost it's a crippling thing for a lot of people, which has the least amount of repercussion. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
what if they say no? And I say, then did your arm fall off? Then they say no. And on the opposite side, from my wife, I learned an amazing woman, just absolutely astounding. She came out with this one is, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yes. Yeah.
So absolutely. Your fear of rejection is automatically rejection if you don't put it out. If you want to use that as a propelling force to go for it, you never know. If no happens, no happens. That's okay. That is absolutely all right. And for me, I paint what I love. I paint what I see. I paint the life and the world around me. And if somebody that doesn't like it, that's okay. You know what? I got these great artist friends. Let me show you some of their work. And I do. I absolutely do. You don't like my stuff? No problem. What do you like? Look, I got this guy, and this guy. Where it's totally up your alley. And